Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Universal Soul Vibrations. Don't forget, if you like the channel, like, subscribe, and share. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Libra full moon that's coming in tomorrow. And we're going to look at each element. With the Libra full moon coming in, this full moon is one about balance, harmony, and is a very relationship-focused full moon. This full moon will be calling into question how we balance our individual needs with the desires of others. Since the full moon is about climaxes and conclusions, some relationships may be moving to a new level of commitment, while others may be ending. If a relationship is ending, just know that it's the right time for that to happen and try not to fight it. A good way to maximize the energy of a full moon is to write down any habits, beliefs, or relationship struggles you wish to release and then destroy the paper the list was written on. You can do this by fire, but make sure you're outside when you do this to represent the release. And then when you're all finished, return the ashes to the earth, asking for all that you released be transformed into healing. Okay, so that's a little full moon ceremony that you can do if you have an area where you can burn the ashes outside and then kind of bury them back into the earth. Alrighty, so now we're going to take a look at the individual elements to see how this Libra full moon is going to affect them. Hi, water signs. This is going to be your messages for the full moon in Libra. And we're looking at Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So I pulled an overall card to see what your overall theme, water signs, is for the full moon in Libra. And the card that came up for you guys is the Detox, repairing the mind, body, and spirit. And I have to tell you, even the cards that came out in the spread say the same thing. The decks I'm using for the main theme is the Shaman's Deck Dream Oracle. It's the new deck by Colette Baron-Reid, and there are some really beautiful cards and messages in here. For the main spread, I'm using the Queen of the Moon Oracle. So let's get on with your messages, water signs. So your overall theme for the Libra full moon is eliminating toxic thinking and cleaning house. Okay? It's time to discard the deep, dearly held judgments that you have held over yourself and others. Release the people you feel wronged or offended you and recognize that they are just a minor shadow of your shadow side. Okay? When we find that we get wrong, that we feel that we got wrong or offended from other people, or there's qualities that we don't like in other people, we don't like a person because of a certain quality they have, we need to remember that this is a mirror. This is a mirror of our shadow side, the pieces of ourselves that we don't like. Okay, so just recognize that when you feel wronged or offended by somebody, it's just your shadow side shouting back at you, basically. The Detox appears as a warning that you can no longer postpone the self-care and pampering you long for. So your theme, like I said, basically water signs for the Libra full moon is to take care of yourself. Take all the way around. The mind, the body, and the spirit. So it's time to put good nourishment in. It's time to cleanse yourselves, whether it be taking a salt bath or whatever works for you. It's time to maybe do some meditation so that you can cleanse out the mind, which lifts the spirit. So it's all about taking care of you guys and basically doing a detox during this full moon. All right, so in the first position, what imbalances is the Libra full moon magnifying for water signs? And it's really kind of funny because we talked about in the Detox card, part of that is releasing things that don't work for us. And the card that you got, the imbalance is being magnified for you, is release. Okay, so it's time, as the Frozen lady says, Elsa, it's time to let it go. Okay. You're hanging on to a lot of stuff that just it's junk. It needs to be gone. It's time to release anything that doesn't serve you. You are ready to make room for bigger, brighter, better things in your life, but you can't do that until you let the other junk go. In the second position, we have how can the scales be brought back to balance? And we got the abundance card in this position. So the abundance card, to bring the scales back into balance with the abundance card, you really do need to recognize the abundance that is around you. There's a lot of possibilities and opportunities everywhere for you. You just have to see it. And I think you might, water signs, be having some difficulties really seeing the good things that are around you because your frame of thinking may be in a different place. In the third position, we've got what truth is the Libra full moon revealing that you need to communicate. Well, what's one of the things that the Libra full moon is all about? It's all about balance. And you, my friends, water signs, got balance in this position. So the truth that's coming out that needs to be communicated is that you need to seek balance. You need to really look at, the extremes of anything are really helpful or useful. So you really need to look at where you're going to extremes with things that are not good for you. And look at what those things are and try to make some changes. You need to ground yourself and be aware of where the imbalances in your life are present at this time. So you definitely need to really seek balance by finding out where the imbalances are and communicating them to yourself and how you can change them. Number 4, how can I create sacred space for harmony to thrive and flourish? And the card that you got in this position is the nourishment. And we talked about the nourishment in the detox. Nourishing the body, the mind, the spirit. You need to choose to nourish this. Feed your values. Pay attention to your health. It's all about taking care of yourself fully. So in order to create that sacred space and find that harmony and be able to thrive and flourish, you have to be at your best. And in order to do that, you really need to take care of yourself. So you're being asked to take care of yourself. That's what's kind of being brought to light by the full moon in Libra. The message from Grandmother Moon is wisdom. Wisdom is more than knowledge. There may be something you aren't seeing that you need to research more. Wisdom is gathered, but it takes time. Learn from your experiences. So basically, your message from Grandmother Moon is saying that there's something out there that there's some knowledge out there and wisdom out there that you're not really seeing, and you need to find more information about it. But do remember that it takes time to gain the wisdom. And one of the things they're saying with the wisdom card is that, it's not all about, as we talk about, it's not all about the destination. It's about the experience. So make sure you get the full experiences and learn from each of those experiences. Alrighty, I pulled a main theme card for each sign within the water signs. And the first one, it's pulled from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. And the first sign I chose was Cancer. And Cancer got the farther gate. When this card shows up, you are being guided to take a bold step forward. That can be a real challenge for Cancer folks because it's really asking you to step outside your comfort zone. Right now, you are a bit stuck, marching in place and not really getting anywhere. An ending is at hand, and you need to know that you can leave the old behind. And I feel like Cancers find a lot of insecurity with leaving the old behind. If you continue marking time instead of moving forward, you will miss an opportunity. The window is opening for a short time, and you are being given the opportunity for new discovery. Okay, Cancers. So there's a window opening during this full moon in Libra for you guys that can really bring a new opportunity to you. And you can't be afraid of it. You need to be able to look out that window and see what that opportunity is and start moving towards it. Pisces, you got the Lost in Space card. And when I think about this, are you feeling lost? Needing direction? Needing some focus? I feel like I'm talking about an infomercial here. But that's what the Lost in Space card is referring to. So Pisces, during this full moon and Libra period, maybe leading up to it, you've been finding a bit lost and not really knowing which way you want to go. Sometimes in life we lose our way. You may find yourself unable to focus or determine the next step. When you lack direction, the first thing to do is redirect your perspective of time. And I really like, the way that they talk about perspective of time with this card. Many times when we think about perspective of time, we think way in the future. We try to plan for the future. One of the things when you first sit down for a job interview, some of the places ask you, what's your 5-year plan? Man, I had a hard enough time just figuring out how to get up for this interview for today. I'm not thinking 5 years down the road. And what they're saying to redirect your perspective of time with this card is that you're invited to reduce your life vision to 24-hour compartments, which allows everything to feel grounded and manageable. When we look at long periods of time, we just get extremely overwhelmed. But by reducing everything to that 24-hour compartment, it makes it much smaller, and we're able to find more energy and find your focus restored, as you recognize that you really weren't lost at all. You were just overwhelmed. Keep it simple right now. Conserve your energy and take care of you in a basic, fundamental way, and everything will be reset again. You'll be good, Pisces. All right? So do that 24-hour compartment thing rather than trying to think so far ahead. Scorpio, the card that came up for you guys is the Many Masks, and it talks about the authentic self. We live in a world where everyone we see wears a mask, and right now, that's very true. We wear these masks to cover up and protect who we are. We learn to do so because we've been conditioned to try to appear a certain way to fit into society. Masks allow us to belong, so we remain within the confines of what is expected. It's all about that whole fitting in thing. We do things the way we think we want people for us to do them. And I know that came out really weird. Couldn't get my thoughts together in my head. Sorry about that. And right now, it's really important to allow yourself to experience the world in all its potentials and possibility. What you're being asked to do during this Libra full moon is try on different masks. Through trial and error, you're going to discover more about truly who you are and what you want to become. It's time to move beyond the barriers that society has set, Scorpio, and really, try different things, see where it brings you and what it brings to you. All right, water signs, those were your messages for the those were your messages for the Libra full moon. And I hope everybody has a good day and a good rest of your weekend.